Milo, is that you?
There, I think I got it. Ron?
Hello.
Ron?
Yes?
I know this isn't necessarily your field of expertise. Do you know if this is the first podcast since the last podcast?
Did I get that memo? Let me check. Well, it's got to be.
I would think so.
I would have to say yes.
I try to keep you in the loop.
Like the noose?
Yeah. I'm going to turn my camera off because I'm like way more entertaining with my camera off. Okay, Ron, so here's the dealio. I just literally contacted you by Facebook Messenger not 5 minutes ago and said, are you available to do an introduction? Because...
you just think at it by yourself.
Yeah, that too, yeah. Actually, that is the main reason. I was thinking I could just do this one by myself, but I can't stand to listen to myself by myself. I can barely stand to listen to myself with other people. But so anyways, here's the dealio. On Monday, which would be today, but it's not really Monday, it's a few days before Monday, I'm going to release the podcast that has your pre-timonium. How do you say it? Timonium.
Timonium.
Yeah, timonium.
It's like it sounds like something you would take for an upset stomach.
It does, doesn't it? It's like when the founding fathers for the town went, well, let's pick something that's like really hard to pronounce. Then we'll always know they're talking about us because they can't spit it out. It's like Namibia. That's a tough one too. But that's a country. Anyways, so we did a pre-Timonium show podcast.
Yep.
And then you came up with the idea of, hey, we should do a post-Timonium show podcast because it was a good show and you had some good stories about it, blah, 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 blah. And I went, yeah, okay, sure. So I listened to both of them. It's very entertaining. I'm going to put them together. But the only problem is the first one we did, the pre-show Timonium podcast, has the ending on it. And then we did the post-show Timonium podcast, which I think should come after the pre-show one. But then that way we'd have, right in the middle of the show, we'd be telling everybody to leave because here's the email address and the website and thanks for coming out and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, and I did the subway chimes on the other one. So this is all confusing.
Yeah,
so we're right on course.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop the end off the first one. So there's going to be kind of a sudden ending, but then we'll have you do subway chimes again. And then and you're going to have to do subway. There are going to be several subway chimes involved in this.
It's rush hour.
Yeah, exactly. It's rush hour. So we're going to do the pre-show one. Then I'm going to chop off the end where we do the email and website and all that stuff. Then we'll hear subway. So we'll hear subway chimes in there. Then we'll do the post Timonium show podcast. Then I'll glue back on the ending from the first one, and it should all sort of make sense, especially now that we've done this great intro to explain it to everybody.
That sure sounds like a lot of editing. A lot of work there.
It's a lot of editing, but anything I can do to make Mind Mount Models the king of all model railroading, I will do whatever I can.
Oh, we appreciate that.
I know. It's actually a very good show. It's a very interesting show.
I'm assuming that the check that I sent you must have cleared, so now you're saying all this good stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was surprised. It was I thought I'd made it very clear that it had to be $17.84, but I was a little disappointed. It came up a bit short, but that's okay.
There was a couple of commas in there. It was 0, comma, 000, comma, 000.
So that's what we're doing. So what's new since when we did the Timonium? What's the next show you're going to do? Probably
Springfield.
Springfield.
Yep, we're getting ready for Springfield and the holidays.
Oh yeah, I guess because you do pretty good selling during the holidays, don't you?
Oh yeah, got the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that whole thing for Thanksgiving time.
And does it actually work? Like, pardon my ignorance, But I'm thinking because you're a smaller manufacturer and brand new, does that actually work when you make those kind of deals and stuff?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, everybody likes a deal.
I know. So do you think you have people that regularly visit your website, so they're kind of always, or when it's announced, or is it mostly because you put it like on the AML fans page and a couple other places? Do you get people from that way?
Well, I'm sure that you're on my email list probably twice sometimes.
Yeah.
And you get all our email announcements when there are sales.
Okay. How many people do you think you have on your email list now?
I think it's 600 and something. 600.
Oh,
600 something. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure it's 600 something right now.
Yeah, because you wouldn't. 6 wouldn't be very many. 600 is pretty good. You doing
well? If those 6 people spend $1 million, I'm set.
Yeah, that's true. You're doing pretty darn good already, eh? Like, I mean, you're doing this with I'm impressed how diligent you are with this. You're enjoying this whole process.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a few kits right now. A bunch of little like backyard sheds and stuff. They could be used all over the place, but
so something that's cheaper for people to buy.
Yeah, they're tiny little things. So I'm thinking about doing like you can buy them individually. You can buy them like a 3-pack, or you can buy all 6 or 7 as a big bundle.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and save a little money as you go up and up.
Yeah, and that'd be. So how long will it take you from start to finish to design a garden shed? Because it's a small little item, so.
Well, I designed all 6 of them like months ago. I was just at lunch at my work, and I just scribbled on it. And then about 2 weeks ago, I kind of drew them all up over a couple nights. There were 6 or 7 of them, and then I'm just gradually like cutting them out and kind of doing the prototype fitting together type of thing. So
when you build, before you release a kit, you completely build one, eh, from scratch.
Yep. And I got 6 little guys sitting right on my bench now. I'm doing one with a little greenhouse on the side tonight.
Look at that. Yeah.
It's laser cut and fine detailed.
Are you finding that you still enjoy the hobby? I'm thinking you still enjoy the hobby, even though you're busy with your business. I think most people that are in the business enjoy the hobby.
Yeah, I've been over the past like week or so. I'm sitting there working on this stuff, and I keep thinking, I got to really just set aside a little bit of time, sort of like how the Queso Cowboy does, like his hour a day or something like that.
Yeah,
and just set a little bit of time, maybe an hour a week, to dedicate to the layout.
We were shout out to Kelly Fletcher. He was talking about getting his mojo going again, and Queso Cowboy was saying, you don't have to do an hour. You can do 30 minutes. You can do 15 minutes. And then I suggested, well, why don't you put 11 minutes and 38 seconds aside every day?
Yeah, I can see that. have a little change left over at the end.
Yeah, exactly. I see what you're doing here. You're dragging this out so you're getting more airtime.
Well, yeah. I mean, I did put a couple extra commas in the
yeah,
chat,
that's true. That's true. Okay, so this is so we'll shoot up another 10 minutes. So this is going to be a good show. It's going to be a good shoe, really big shoe. And it's going to come out on, what's the date on Monday? The 24th. Hang on, don't tell me. Let me guess. I think it's going to be the 25th. It's the 25th. It's my son's birthday. That's what it is.
Peter. Yes, very cool.
Yeah, so it's going to come. See how special this is coming out on my son's birthday. I'm
sure he'll listen to it.
Oh yeah,
he'll bundle it up, wrap it up, and give it to him.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put it in a box and give it to him. I'll dust it off. Yeah, I got him something. I'm thinking he's going to laugh and laugh and laugh. Anyways, he's turned out to be a fine young man, so I'm very blessed that way.
That must skip generation.
Yes, it did. My dad was a very fine man, and my son is a very fine man, and then it was like me.
You're a fine man.
Yeah. So all right. So now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do a subway chime go now, and then we'll stop this. We'll hit the red. We'll stop. We'll hit the button and stop it, and then you're going to have to do another subway chime go, because when we cut off pieces, it's very confusing. But when you hear it. It'll be
like a bowl of spaghetti.
It'll be, yeah.
Kind of like mushed together, and it looks a little sloppy, but tastes good.
So grab yourself a big bowl of shredded shingles, and I
got plenty of those.
Yeah, and a steamy, tall, cool glass of, what's your favorite glue to tell people to glue everything with?
MEK.
No, it's not, is it?
No, actually, it's wood glue. Titebond 2.
What is it?
Titebond 2 wood glue.
Titebond 2. Why Titebond 2? Any particular reason?
Well, it's an interior-exterior wood glue. It's just what I had on my desk for years, and Titebond 1 works fine, but Titebond 2, it's a good one.
There's actually a 1 and a 2?
It's a water-resistant one, so it works well exterior, so as you're putting your finishes on and stuff, it might not pop apart as easily.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know who I went to see a few days ago is our old buddy Tim Morris, the teeny tiny lumber baron.
Yeah, but he had a big pile of wood for you.
I know, he always has a big pile. Man, that is the best wood for starting fires. Oh, my goodness gracious. How often do you order from him?
Every couple months, I would say.
Okay. Man, and he throws some of the stuff he was giving me. He says, "Well, this is actually scale wood," but it's like and I'm looking at it, and for him, it wasn't good enough, and I'm thinking, "Wow, that looked pretty good to me." All right, but I think he said he produces sawdust, and the byproduct is some strip wood. Yeah, and he buys. You know where he gets his lumber from?
A big lumber baron?
No, well, that too. Finland. It's special.
Wow.
Wood from Finland. And this last batch he had flown over because of all the carrying on with ships are busy and all that. He actually had his last batch flown over. So it's from Finland. So the wood we get from Mount Albert Scale Lumber is actually from Finland.
So it's finished before it even gets done.
There you go. Boom.
Subway chime. Go.
Hey, Bruce.
Oh, you're talking to me or you're talking to Buddy or who's somebody else?
No, I'm talking to Bruce.
Okay.
Wilson.
Hi.
The moderately agitated.
Hey, Lionel.
Boy.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
What's the maximum capacity of non-interesting guys we can have in the studio at one time?
I would hope it's not more than one.
Or how many interviews a year can we do of non-interesting people?
Again, well, boy, that's a tough one.
I know. I love these guys.
Again, I would hope to be like less than 5.
Yeah, I would hope so too. Less than 1 would be great, but less than 5 would be less than 5 would be solid.
Yeah, we know it's not less than 1.
Yeah. Yeah, we know it's not less than 1. I'm wearing my Cleveland Barons t-shirt tonight.
Sweet.
Yeah, I got one for me and I got one for my kid. The Cleveland Barons, who were originally the California Golden Seals, who my son likes to refer to them as the only team that killed a guy. Because they had a guy on the ice. Something happened to a guy on the ice. He got hit in the head with a puck or a stick or something, and he died right there in the game. Or got fatally injured in the game. And the California Golden Seals, they were just permanently the Seals, the Barons, the Kansas City Scouts. Who else? There was a couple other teams. The Atlanta Flames. None of these places were going to make it in the NHL.
No.
Kansas City, NHL. I don't think so. Hey, we haven't talked to that Ron Klaiss guy for a while.
Oh, so you're going to roll the dice on Klaiss?
Yeah, we're going to roll the... Ooh, I like that. Well, I haven't been talking to him because he names stuff after everybody but me.
Yeah, well, he's working on this big special project for you, I think.
Yeah. And I wanted to talk to him. I thought it would be ideal to talk to him before he's just about to go to his first train show in a year and a half. And I thought it would be ideal to talk to him just before he goes to find out all the things that he might be thinking he has to prepare for, or if he's ever even going to come back.
Yeah.
Ron?
And then we can also get an update on his efforts to help you with the Princess Margaret one more year.
Well, that we definitely want to talk to him about because Ron.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Ron.
Well, the main thing I'm preparing for is all the groupies at the train show.
Well, there you go.
That's a given.
Yeah.
Do you have to hire a special security detail?
No, I just let them flock.
Oh, okay.
And my wife will keep them away.
Well, there you go. There, she's your special security
if she's
detail.
there, you don't want them around.
She handles the money. She does all the good stuff.
Mind Mount
you just
Models.
have to sit there and look pretty.
Mind Mount Models. You only have to type in Google Mine and MOUN, and then it comes up.
Sure, I hope so. I hope if you type in Google, it just automatically comes up. One day, maybe.
What? Well, no, Mind Mount model comes up pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
You sound like you're a little disappointed with the...
I just want it to be, if you search for, Corvettes, I want Mind Mount models to be on the top. if you search for NHL teams, the Kansas City Nutmegs, whenever they are, then I want Mind Mount models to come first, and then the Nutmegs will follow.
Don't try to... It's Kansas City Scouts.
Scouts. There we go.
A Modeler's Life. Let's try that. A Modeler's Life. I always get stuck at the ERs. Oh, and I only had to put in it after... Wow. I only had to put in a model, and it came up.
Well, there you go.
It's under your favorites, probably. I would hope so.
No.
No?
No. There it is. Boom. Right there. Modeler's Life on Google. Just above Mind Mount Models.
Excellent. Perfect. Perfect.
So, have you been to a train show lately, Ron?
Has anybody been to a train show?
I don't know.
No, unfortunately not.
They've been going out west for a while.
Yeah, they had the RPM out there, and I think I listened to some podcasts. Yes, there are other podcasts. The International Plastic Modelers, IPMS, I think it is. They had a big show, and they had like record numbers come out with models and stuff. I think they had like 4,000 models or something crazy like that.
Wow.
Is that the one no, Bernie Kapinski was at some other one?
No.
He was
one in Washington, I think, in the DC area. This one was out near Kansas City in the middle somewhere.
So, are you ready? Are you all packed up? What's happening?
Pretty much all set. Just need to throw it all in the van and go.
So you're going to the Timonium. How do you say that?
Timonium.
Timonium.
Yep. I think it's the Great Scale Model Railroad Train Show. It's close to the whole Amherst. That whole thing where it's like 15 different names to it.
Right. And everybody calls it Timonium.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Timonium show. Springfield show, same thing.
And where is it?
It's just over the border of Delaware, right, at the top of Maryland, pretty much. It's not too far. About 3 hours from where I live, which is 3 hours from everywhere else.
Yeah, but is Timonium near any? What's the next city? Timonium.
Now, new and improved Timonium.
Yeah, I can't. I have never been able to say Timonium. I've never.
Well, there you go. You just did it.
Yeah,
you
but
graduated to greater things.
But I was busy doing something else. I was able to distract my brain. So, and when I'm thinking about how to say it, I can never say it. See, and
let's say
Timonium. How do you spell it?
Timonium. Ammonium.
No, it's Timon.
Timon.
Yeah. Lutherville. Where the heck is Lutherville? So it's just off Interstate 83, which is just off Interstate 695, which is just north of Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, it's down there.
Yeah. Home of the official flight attendant of the AML Network. She should be going to the Timonium.
I met her.
Did you?
Yeah, at the first show, it was Timonium in October 2019, and I told my wife, I said, I'll be back. I just want to take a quick walk around, the immediate area. I'm looking. I was at the Fast Tracks and the Mount Albert booth. Right. And I turned around and I could recognize her from the back. She had that short blonde hair.
Yeah.
I said, Tracy Lynn Boyd, and she turns around and said, oh my God. So she ended up coming back to my table and stuff. She was famous.
Did she buy anything?
She was an N scale, but she did buy little Skips bait and tackle at the time.
Oh, that's right. I remember her telling me about she was making that or something.
Yep. Yeah, she did a good job.
Yeah, she did do a good job.
She did reverse perspective.
Engineering? Oh,
no, reverse perspective. She has an N scale layout, and she put an HO scale house up on the hill.
Yeah. How many kits you got now?
The main structures, I have 9, almost 10. But 9 right now. Wilson's Mustards was the newest one, and I got a bunch of accessories. Shingles, they're all out, and all different types of accessories and detail parts. I'm getting into the 3D printing now also. Printing up barrels and trash cans today, and working on new things.
Wow!
What printer do you have for that, Ron?
Elegoo Saturn.
That seems to be the popular one at a ridiculously low price.
Yeah. No, the Elegoo Mars is the ridiculously low price now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, the Saturn came out a year year ago about. And it's a good price for what you get now. I think I paid like $400 or something, $450, which is a good price, and it's got a really big build volume.
Well, that's right. It's bigger than the Mars, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're just coming out. They just announced last week they're coming out with a Jupiter, which is huge. Ooh. This thing is, it's massive.
And so when it says size, that means how much it'll print at a time.
Exactly. Yeah. With railroad stuff, it's not that big a deal unless I was if I was printing like full boxcars or something like that, where you could stand them on end. But like from think of a N scale or HO scale trash can or a barrel or something like that, it's only 1/4 inch high or so. So I don't need the height volume. I need the square inch volume.
Right.
So you can fit a whole bunch in one printing.
So how long have you been doing that?
Oh, when did I get that? About 6 months ago. And I really just started printing, less than 6 months ago. Really just started printing in the past month. I was fooling around and doing it, but and when I first got it, I'm just printing some things out. But now I'm actually getting into really designing a lot of my own stuff.
Yeah. What are you using for software?
I just started getting into.
Please say Sketch-It.
Nope. Blender. I'm getting into Blender.
Okay.
That's it's a pretty vast program. You got a lot of.
It is. That's the one there. Yeah. And, one of the NMRAX events. There's a woman in South Africa gave a talk on Blender.
Oh, I saw some of that.
It was very interesting.
Yeah, I think it was. I watched one of her videos on YouTube or something like that. I was like, oh my god, she was like designing whole cars and everything, like down to the chains and everything. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blender is pretty cool. It's very powerful and it's free. That's amazing. I couldn't believe.
Free is always good.
Yeah, so check out Blender. I've downloaded a few other ones, but right now I'm fooling around with Blender. Okay. And then
can you draw a circle? Can you draw a circle?
Yeah, but one side's flat. So.
so it's a rivet.
And the program that came with the printer. You need a slicer, it's called, and that's what slices the program into a bunch of different layers so it can print. And that's Titebond, I think you pronounce it.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And that's pretty interesting. That allows it to communicate to the printer itself. That's free. With all these, there's also more advanced versions of it.
Right.
But for what I need, it's fine. And for the laser, I'm using, what the hell's that one called? Oops. You got to put this on Patreon now. Lightburn. Lightburn's a good program for talking to the laser printer.
Why do we have to put it on Patreon?
Well, I just said the HE double hockey sticks.
That's like normal conversation.
Oh.
All right. Oh, double hockey sticks? Hell, is that what you said?
Yes, I did.
Colonel Potter.
Well, the problem is you're so boring. I fell asleep there for a minute, so I didn't hear you.
No, set your alarm for every minute.
Yeah, set my alarm. So before we go on, kids, you guys, this I'm sure there's people that heard you say something about Blender and this excellent video. Do we have any idea how somebody might find this video?
Oh boy, I forget her name.
Let me after that. I will get back to you in a minute because I know it's up on the NMRAX YouTube channel.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, but she did a really good presentation. I just watched one of her YouTube videos, and that worked out really well.
So what sells better? Go ahead. You were going to say something.
No. I was just talking about the Blender stuff.
Okay.
What sells better?
Yeah.
For
your all your extra little bitsy things and stuff.
Bitsy things.
Well, I don't know. You got dumpsters. You got picnic tables. You got roofing.
The best thing that sells actually is the little jig for doing the rafters and stairs and everything. That's like my number one seller. It's a nice jig? Little a jig fixture because I didn't want to upset anybody. Well,
you can't just that makes no sense to me. So, I see. Jig fixture for joist, rafters, and stairs. So why didn't you want to upset anybody?
Well, with Fast Tracks, Tim's very particular about calling it assembly fixtures.
Oh, I see.
So some people call it jigs, some people call it fixtures. As long as they buy it, I don't care what they call it.
I get it.
It's like Kato and Kato.
Okay, so it's like a joke.
Yep.
Right.
Well, that's my number one. That's my number one seller.
Oh, yeah.
It goes well because if they buy stairs, then they end up usually buying one of those things. And then
can you make it? I see. I'm looking at the picture here. And can you make it variable widths, or does it come in a certain way? Take it or leave it, or you can set the width of the jig you want the way you want it.
The way I send it to you, it makes a maximum width of 2 inches because there's a piece of basswood that comes with it, and you cut that in equal parts, and then you need the 4 basswoods to hold the thing together in square.
Right.
When you glue it together, and then it ends up being
2
inches wide.
So you can slide those pieces, though, one way or the other. You can make whatever width stairs you want, or rafters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I suggest that you kind of offset it, don't evenly space them. That way you can do narrow stairs on one side. You can do wide stairs in the middle. You can do really wide stairs if you bridge 2 or 3 of them. And makes it easy. I actually provide it with some of my kits where there's a lot of joists, like in Sunrise, you get it. And in Pinellas, Pinellas Petrol, one of the kits that I didn't name after you.
Right.
You get it in that because of the rafters in the roofing. It really simplifies it.
So Stephen P says, awesome jig. Perfect for making stairs, easy to use. Can't wait to use it for making rafters on my next build. Greg C says, the jig went together very easily and will make so many tasks easier. Hardy S says, awesome item, even better seller. How would he know that it's a better seller?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that seems a little...
He must have gotten to my computer.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Anyone who has built FSM kits, fine scale miniatures, or scratch builders will like this jig. Wow. So that was James H. So people all over are like, and that comment got 3 thumbs up. Or you can give it a thumbs up. Look at that. Man, oh man. You got a great website.
Thanks. It's actually all through GoDaddy. They do a pretty good job. You can get add-ons and stuff like that, and it makes it easy. Kind of cut and paste.
Yeah, cut and paste.
Similar, yeah.
Similar. So that's your best seller. How many orders are you sending out a week right now, roughly, on average?
Well, it all depends on if there's a sale, or usually during the holidays, I'll put out sales and stuff, and then the orders go crazy. Otherwise, it's right now it's a dozen a week, let's say. That's
pretty good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, considering you probably were excited when the first one came in.
And that was actually before I even opened, before I released it to the public. Steve Vaughn, the Vaughn guys, the dad and the son.
Yeah.
So we were at an NMRA regional meeting in North Jersey a few years ago just before I opened up. And I was talking with him, and he's like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah, the website's up, but I haven't announced it or anything like that." So he ended up leaving. He went home and ordered a kit before my website was even officially announced. So he was actually the first sale. And I was like, "Oh my God, I sold ones before anybody even knew about it, really."
That's like when somebody signs up to Patreon. I go, "Oh my God, somebody's listening to this."
Yes.
And why are they listening to this?
Yeah, you have 2 questions here, a comment and a question.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyhow, I found it. The woman's name is Chryzandri Roth. It's CHRIZ or Z ANDRI, last name ROTH.
So C Roth. Could we go with like C period Roth?
If you're looking for her, you may find her that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But Chryzandri Roth, the Anamari X1, some guy named Klaiss says, "Hey, perfect timing. I just downloaded Blender yesterday."
Well, there we go.
There you go. So that was the NMRA X1 from earlier this year, and I imagine if you take her name and search on YouTube, you'll find her other ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she does good videos too.
She does good. She also does. She did one on the Weekend of Rail Fanning video that was most entertaining.
In Africa, South Africa.
South Africa, yeah.
It's rail fanning in South Africa.
Yeah,
that's
and
cool.
She,
I wonder if Peter Borchert knows better.
She knows our friend Speed.
Okay. Doesn't everybody, though?
Yeah. But she's one of the few ones that can pronounce the names on his layout correctly.
Yeah, I can't pronounce. Too many vowels. That vowels get me all screwed up. So what are you doing? Are you doing anything special to prepare for your first train show in the midst of the worst pandemic in 100 years?
just packing kits. I've been taking my time. I didn't want to, rush at the end, so I've been packing kits every week. Doing another bunch, So I build up stock, and the good thing is, if it doesn't all sell, hopefully it all sells, but it doesn't go bad, and it'll be on the next sale.
There's
on the website.
No expiration date on these kits.
Absolutely not. No, they stay fresh all year long.
So how do you figure out? Is it just kind of hit and miss about how to figure out how many of a certain kit to pack?
Well, I know there are certain ones that are definitely more popular. So I'll bump up the numbers with that one.
What's your best seller? Some like Skips, the smaller ones, or the bigger ones?
It'd be Wilson's mustard, I think.
Wilson's was a very good seller, but the most popular one right now was Wiley's. Wiley's Good Times Tavern.
And who's Wiley?
He's a coyote.
They're the father's son. They had the podcast. Like the structure podcast. They're kind of taking a break right now. They're not doing podcasts. Every once in a while, they'll just throw one out there. But they were doing one every week for, I guess, 2 years or so.
Everybody other than Tom Barbalet quits. Hats off to Tom Barbalet. He never quit. And of course, I guess we've never quit either.
He's a force.
Not yet.
Yeah, he's a force. And I'm just chuckling, Tom. I'm just chuckling. I didn't mean it. You're not a force. Don't be getting your shorts all in a knot.
He's also a father now. Can you believe that?
Is he really?
Yeah,
the father of twin girls.
Yes.
Wow.
His hands have been full lately. So yeah, and he just started getting back into the model rail radio thing.
Oh yeah, he took a break, did he, with the birth of his kids?
Well, yep, he moved and he had girls, so his hands were full for a little bit. Yeah. But he's actually having one tomorrow or Saturday.
Oh, okay. Well, you're at the show.
Well, I'm at the show. Yep. And I'm sure you'll get this podcast out in time so you can announce that.
Why are you made? That's the second crack you've made about when I get my podcast. I don't have.
Well, I know you have a. I know you have a big backlog of.
I know I can. I can easily hit the erase button here. Don't be.
Erase? There's no erase button.
Did you hit the record button?
Yeah. Maybe I didn't hit the record button. Yeah, there's an erase button. It's called delete.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this. Here's 2 reviews for Wilson's mustard. Great instructions, lots of color pictures, and large font type. And somebody else says, another great model, Thomas P. I bet you Thomas P. Do we know any Thomas P's? I think we do. I bet you that's Tom Patterson. It goes, as expected, Mind Mount model produced another outstanding product. Wilson's mustard comes with all the parts you need, with detail items to make for a very convincing model. The instructions are easy to follow. Everything is ready to go and put together. Boom.
Now, can I just say one thing? I have 3 of Ron's kits. I haven't built them yet, but I've looked at them all. And the one thing I'm impressed with, I know others are, is the quality of Ron's instructions. They are some of, if not the best instructions out there for kits. Nice. It's lots of information, lots of good pictures to show you how to put things together. But Ron, your instructions they're second to none, in my opinion.
Actually, that was the one thing that made me start thinking about talking to you, as well as thanking you publicly for being part of my one more year fun project. I think
absolutely. That was a pleasure. I'm glad I could help.
Perfect. I very much appreciate it. And next year I'll say, so Ron, remember last year when you were doing that thing? That's what
I'll be like, Lionel who?
Yeah.
Lionel who?
No, absolutely.
So how many Wilson's mustards did you sell for that, Ron?
How much was it? I only was able to donate $300. So
don't say only.
All right.
That's 30 kits, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You sold 30 kits in a month of one kit.
No, it was about it was 2 months, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was all. Oh, I see. It was all. Okay, it was all of all the Wilson's mustards that were sold until the end of September, or the end of August, or whenever you did it.
Whenever the last day of your walk was.
Right.
And then whatever, and then that was it. I'm glad. I wish I could donate more.
I think that was very nice of you to donate that much. It was lovely. Every bit helps, right, Bruce? We say whether you can...
Absolutely. It doesn't. If you can give something, it's a help to those who need the help.
$5, $10, $1,000, whatever you can afford. We look at all of them equally. I appreciate Ron. I appreciate yours just as much as I appreciate the donations from Rapido and Fast Tracks and Iowa Scaled Engineering and Mini Prints. Oh my God, all the work that Bernard Helen's gone to there.
And all the other, the individual people. I would go to the website that you guys have all your donations on.
I know.
And the list just keeps going. I thought that was great.
I thought it was great too. I think this year we raised like $24,000. We came up just a little bit.
Oh, you came pretty close.
We came really close. Like, that was pretty cool.
Wow. That's big.
That's huge. We've now raised basically $100,000 to the hospital since we started.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I still only owe them about $760,000.
So yeah, you're working it out.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, but with that announcement, that's where you should cut into the vastly wild cheering crowd when you come up when you're 100,000. That's most impressive, Lionel.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's a pretty cool sum. And this year, when I was walking, I was texting some people, and David Stark kept saying I should take an Uber. He'd say, "How you doing out there?" Because it was hotter, and oh my God, it was hot.
Oh, it was a brutal week.
It was the worst of all the time I've done it, and somehow I can handle the heat. But this was like, there was one stretch I was walking between two towns, and it was like, this is like walking through the desert.
So the Bradford Flat.
Yeah. But anyways, every time David would check on me, he'd say, "You want me to call you an Uber?" And I'm thinking, yeah, actually I do, but that would kind of kill the whole point of the exercise.
David Starr is a quiet man, but when he says something, it's quality.
Exactly. So are you making any special prep? Like, are you concerned about going to this, or did the organizers ask you to make any special preparations for the...
No, I'm excited. I can't wait. I think I'm pretty much prepped. I have everything ready to go. Michelle, my wife, she's downstairs actually packing last little bits of like shingles and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because I'm up here talking on a podcast.
Right.
And I mean, that's simple stuff. No last minute cramming, thank goodness.
Oh, okay.
And
so I think the
crowds are going to be pretty good.
Are you saying your wife can't handle the complicated stuff?
No, I think she can. I let her handle the books. So.
Well, that's kind of. He says, "Well, she's doing the simple stuff," and I'm thinking, "Well, why?" I was like, "Joke, I'm kidding."
She doesn't want to touch the laser.
I know, I wouldn't think so. So okay, so but all right. So I know we've talked about this before, but no, we haven't. I don't want to finish it. I want to stay on this topic. So are they not? Did the show organizers not tell you? Okay, like, is it just going to be a typical train show? Are they swinging open the doors and have at it, or is there all kinds of, So
where we're going to be, the concept it's called the Craftsman Courtyard, where all the craftsman guys come together instead of being spread out all over the place. The first time we officially did it, like full scale, was October 2019 in Timonium, and that was a huge turnout. And that was my first show I ever did. And it worked out great. So all the craftsman guys, they get together instead of being spread out. They're in all the tables are right next to each other. You can see all the kits and everything. And so they designate an area in the show for just us.
Where's the show held, Ron?
It's the Maryland State Fairgrounds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very similar to like the Springfield, just about a quarter the size, maybe.
Only a quarter of the size? That's pretty big.
It's a decent sized building. Yeah, decent sized building. So those guys invited me back in 2019, and I jumped all over the opportunity because I was excited for my first show and everything. And then the second show we did was in Springfield in 2020, and then after that, everything shut down. So this is the first one back since everything started opening up back. So we're pretty excited. I mean, all the guys are ready to go, I think.
But have they not? The organizers haven't asked you, told you got to make special precautions for COVID or nothing?
No, I'll have bottles of sanitizer there, and we'll have masks and stuff like that just in case. But I haven't heard anything other than that. Really,
they haven't told you have to wear a mask or nothing?
I haven't heard any mandatory stuff yet. Nope.
Wow.
I'm gonna bring it just in case. But
okay.
I'm fully vaccinated and stuff, and I'll be wearing it just in case.
Okay. I got 7 vaccines. I thought, why stop? I go.
Keep pumping you full. You'll be like, like the superheroes.
I'll
pump you full of juice.
I figure I'd just go every couple of weeks and get another dose. I'll just be like, Mister. I'm looking at the website. There's nothing on here about you got to wear a map or wear a map. You got to wear a mask or anything.
You got to wear a map so you can find your way around.
yeah, you got to wear a map.
Here.
There's nothing here that says anything about it.
Yeah, I'm not aware of anything. So,
wow, is Maryland basically given up on anything?
I have no idea anymore about this.
Oh.
Yep, I couldn't tell you. Like
I
said, I just take precautions for myself and.
Well, sure, but I just I was just wondering.
Yep, no, haven't heard anything.
Me neither. There's nothing on the website.
I'm out in the public every day with my job, so I've been exposed to pretty much everybody in North Jersey when this whole thing was going down. It was pretty crazy up here, and working in a hardware store, I mean, it's hard not to be direct in contact with people. They're handing me things that need to get fixed, and it's just hundreds of people coming in the door every day, and luckily nobody in my store got sick from it.
Good.
Yep.
Good news.
Now everybody's vaccinated, and so.
Actually, I looked on the website. There's a link you can click, and they say they follow the Baltimore County government regulations. Strongly recommend masks in public areas, regardless of vaccination status. In addition, social distancing where practical remains in effect. Show has been designed with wide aisles and spacious areas. So they encourage you right on the top of the webpage. It says click here for special COVID statement.
Oh, okay, because I'm just looking at the actual. I'm not looking at that website. I'll go to home. Let me try home. I'm not. Oh, there's. I see what you're saying. Okay, click here for special COVID statement. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So so there is.
We'll be at we're all set up for Springfield too.
Oh yeah. What's new? What have you heard about Springfield?
As of right now, it's a go.
Yeah.
I mean, John Sacerdoti, and he's all sending out all the paperwork. I have it all filled out. I got the hotel booked and ready for that.
I should do that.
Hopefully Canada opens up soon.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Who knows? I have a house in Florida, but I haven't used it I have now not used it for almost a year. That's really annoying. That is really annoying. But that's another subject altogether. So yeah, I want to talk to you about is there any place you don't have your instructions on your website anywhere, right?
No, I was thinking about doing that actually. I know a couple of the other manufacturers will just allow, they'll have the instructions out there. I'll just put it in PDF form and just stick it on there. It'll be probably under the same banner as the Mind Mount Minutes, the little clinics and how-tos that I have.
Right.
And those are well done as well, yes.
And then I'll just add it right to there and just have every kit's instructions right there. I've been thinking about that for actually about a week now. Funny you bring that up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on the cutting edge. We're on the cutting edge here. I'm going back to that page. So okay, so what is
Mind Mount Minutes.
Mind Mount Minutes. So it's a PDF thing that you download.
Yeah, and it's just how I do different paint jobs and stuff like that. I got to get more on here. Basically, I just take some of the snippets from the directions and how I tell people how to do the shingles or paint some of my foundation stones and stuff like that, and just put it in PDF form so that people can use it as reference.
Here's a question for you. On Wiley's, how'd you do the stucco?
The main wood is just straight, flat, plain basswood.
Right.
And then I used I think it's Rust-Oleum. Yep, here it is. Rust-Oleum multicolored texture.
Okay.
I brought it into the Joe Cummings studio here. I had brought it with me. I knew you were going to ask this.
You brought some props. Good.
Yes.
Props are good.
Caribbean sand is the color that I sprayed it. And it has just a real slight texture. They have a couple different ones. One is more of a splatter texture, but I thought it looked too big for HO scale. And this one almost has like a sand in it. And it's a light tan color. But it's a good base color for it, but I ended up painting over top of it and just used the texture underneath as the stucco, and it turned out pretty great, I think.
Yeah, because I know I built a fine scale miniatures kit that had stucco walls. We used the Durham rock hard water putty.
Yeah,
and that turned out not bad.
Yeah, I looked into that, and I thought it was a little bit too coarse. I mean, there's some heavy stucco I've seen in the real world, but I wanted a little bit finer. I wanted the texture there, but I didn't want it overwhelming.
So this is on Wiley's
Good Times Tavern.
Good Times Tavern. Oh yeah, right.
The front bump out is stucco.
So how do you? So it looks like the front. Okay, the front wall. Okay, the front wall is stucco. Does it come? Like, is it just like somebody has to have enough skill to make stucco? Is that what's happening, or is it etched with your laser ahead of time?
No. The texture is from the spray paint that I suggest using. They can use. I'd say you can use a couple different techniques. I've seen people use straight sand put on dirt. I've seen the Durham's putty. I've seen other spray versions. There's also like a spackle plaster type thing.
You go with a fine sandpaper.
Yeah, and so I just sprayed that Rust-Oleum multicolored texture thing, and then painted over top of it with a tan color in it. It
looks good.
That's the way Yep, that's exactly how I want it to look.
That's probably like the only thing in all of your kits where the builder has to actually do something, like actually create. Like it seems like the purchaser of the kit has to create the stucco. Is that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean the clapboard siding. That's the clapboard material. That's from Fast Tracks, Mount Albert.
Right.
Well, in the one picture with the walls that have the stucco siding, the ornate front doors and all, and the windows and everything, that's all laser cut parts that you stack up and build up layers.
Okay.
To get all the detail and modeling and stuff. That's not plastic or anything. That's all laser board and stuff like that you paint and then build up on top of each other.
So how long did it take you to create a kit like Wiley's Tavern? I know it's not called the AML Tavern; it's called Wiley's Tavern.
I'm saving something special for you.
How many times have they had you on their show?
I think it was 3.
Oh, well, la-di-da.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
Yeah, well, I think this is like your 4th or 5th time with us. So
yes, it is. I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. We go way back. Way back. Back. No, I needed a tavern, and I saw this one. This actual Wiley's Tavern is based off of a picture that I found from 1912.
Why did you need a tavern?
Because I just saw the picture. I looked at. I liked the look of the prototype that I saw, and I said, "That's a really cool tavern."
Yeah, but you said you needed a tavern. Did you need it for your own layout? You mean, or you just needed it to add it to your repertoire of kits?
Yeah, I needed to add it to the stock. I thought it was a really cool picture. Really good look to the structure, and I said, I want to do that. That's my next kit. So then, we did a group build on the Wiley's podcast, where I guess it was about 35 or 40 people bought this kit. I think it was, and then we all kind of built it together as they did. Like they would every week they would take apart and build along with it.
And what did it take? Like a year and a half to build it? Of like 62 shows or something?
No. It took about a month and a half, maybe something like that.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you had a lot of fun over there at Wiley's podcast. Is it
almost as much fun as an AML podcast? Almost.
Is it still on? Oh no, it's not.
Come on, they're good guys, and they like hockey. They love hockey. So
there you go.
You guys would probably get along.
I don't get along with. I'm like Carson. I don't get along with anybody. Anybody else? Any other show? I don't get along with any other show, except for Tom. Except for Tom Barbley. We love Tom. If it hadn't been for Tom, we wouldn't have the AML. So there you go.
I was thinking about that today, actually.
Oh, were you?
How this whole thing came about, and how the after show chats morphed into things, and then the AML came along, and then just everything that's happened over the past few years. Well, what has it been 7 years now?
Yeah,
almost 8,
7.
And I even just meeting you and Bruce back in Springfield. My first show was ever. I had never even heard of Springfield until 2012, and then I like started meeting you guys, and then you started the podcast and everything. It's just the way this thing has grown. The model railroad goo is just flowing.
I know. I know. And people don't seem to be able to grasp that. I feel like sometimes I'm the only one that seems, and maybe I'm 100% wrong, but I think this hobby is in 10 years, nobody will recognize it because it will have grown and changed so much because of the ability for us to all connect. I can't see.
Yep. You beat that horse, and the horse keeps getting up just saying, beat me some more, because it's true.
Yeah.
It's just true. The hobby really is growing.
Yeah. And one of our listeners says I go on about that too much, and he's right. I do, but I can't stop. So
But when the whole COVID thing started happening, and everybody was locked in their houses because nobody knew what was really happening in the beginning, and it was kind of a mystery, and everybody was out of work and everybody was staying at home, and people started discovering their old hobbies. And after, like, the hardware store, we were open at the hardware store the whole time, and it was quiet for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. It was kind of quiet. Couple people, contractors and stuff would come in, and we stayed open. And then all of a sudden, the homeowners needed to get out of the house, it seemed like. And they started coming in the store, and everybody was working on the house. Everybody was finding their old hobbies. And I had 5 people at least in about a 3-week span come in and ask about how to build a model railroad. So everybody at my store knows I'm into model railroading and modeling and all that stuff.
Okay.
So we have radios, and all of a sudden I'd get a call. Ron, aisle 17, helping electrical. We got another model railroader for you. I'm like, okay. And all these guys are like, they would come in, and even like moms with little kids and stuff. Oh yeah, I want to start building a model railroader, train set for little Billy or something. Or this guy's like, yeah, I used to be in the modeling, and I need something to do. Now I'm stuck at the house. And literally 5 people came in, and which maybe it was like 1 or 2 a year.
Right.
And when everybody was shut in, they started rediscovering old hobbies, and sure enough, model railroad came up.
Yeah, and everybody, so many people are interested in trains in one way or another, but the problem with the hobby before was everybody would, even if you were actively involved in your local NMRA or something like that, the number of people you would meet over a year would be the number of people you'd meet on the internet in a week.
It
just speeds the process up so fast, and it's like the internet was designed specifically for model railroading.
Yes,
I guess we have Al Gore to thank for that. So you didn't answer the question. How long did it take you to prepare, or from start to finish?
That was about 2 months.
Because you got to first draw the plans to do the laser cutting, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, and then actually packing and stuff. I think I got it down to about a month and a half, month and 3 weeks, something like that. I did that one. Again, I have a full-time job, so I do this at night now.
Yeah, okay.
And it's hopefully, gradually I'm selling more and more and more. My sales are tripling every year, so that's a pretty good sign. So I went from $1 to $3, and now I'm up to $9 this year.
Wow,
that's one.
And the more time I can dedicate during a day, the more product I can get out quicker.
Right. So how long? So exactly how long? Exactly. Why did I say exactly twice? This is like the 5th time I've said exactly now in the last minute. Perhapsly. So how long? How many years have you actually been in business now? 2?
No, 2018.
So 3.
Actually, tomorrow is my 3-year anniversary.
Oh, okay.
October 1st is when I released the website announced that My Mount Models was a thing.
So now in those 3 years, like, did you imagine it would be this going along this well in 3 years? Is this like, or is this like beyond your expectations of how well you're doing and everything?
I was expecting to sell some things, but the reception that I've gotten with my products is very surprising. I am grateful for all the positive feedback that I've gotten from everybody, with like what you guys were saying with my instructions, or with my kits and stuff, or just the variety of stuff that I put out. I'm blown away at how people are receiving the stuff that I'm putting out there. Numbers wise, I think I'm pretty much right on par of where I thought I would be with the amount of time that I'm putting into it and dedicating to the company. Like I said, the more time I can dedicate to it, the more products I can get out. And then whenever I put new products out, my sales bump like crazy. So they'll see something new, and then they'll also add other things onto that order.
Right.
So obviously, a Rolling Stone gathers no moss type thing. So the more I put stuff out, the more things I would be able to sell, and additional sales on top of that new item. And with the shows, I think still, it's just, I'm kind of the new kid on the block still a little bit, even though it's been 3 years and I've been saying that. But the name keeps getting out there. People are still discovering me, just like people are still discovering the AML. And I think the growth is steady, not too crazy where, I'm quitting my other job and going full time, but eventually, I'm either going to cut back and dedicate time to the company, and looking to get a new laser, a smaller one but quicker one for shingles and some of the smaller details. The big one's good for doing the bigger kits and the bigger parts and stuff, but some of the small stuff, it could eat up a lot of time on the laser. Like the shingles take a lot of time on a laser, but the style laser that I have, it's kind of designed that it would take a long time. There's other fiber lasers and stuff like that are out there that I'm looking into getting, just so it'll end up being a little quicker.
So how much would one of those cost? Like a decent one of those fiber? What's a fiber laser?
It's just a different, instead of, how the arms go back and forth, like with the X and the Y axis, and it kind of zigzags back and forth with the laser.
Right.
On more of the common type of lasers that you see. A fiber laser has a mirror that actually pivots around. So instead of this arm moving back and forth, slow and clunky kind of, the mirror can pivot really quick. So the laser just hits the mirror, and the mirror kind of swings around and moves around really fast, and it can cut much quicker. But the area that it cuts is smaller, though, because you're relying on this mirror moving around. That's why it would be good for my smaller detail parts, like the sheets that have the shingles on them and stuff like that, where it's a smaller, it's a set size, would fit perfectly in a fiber laser like that.
You have sheep with shingles on them?
The sheet, my sheep.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you
when you shave your sheep,
yeah.
they get cold.
You got to cover them up. Yeah,
yeah. They could get cold. They could get wet with the rain,
Yeah.
and you need shingles on your sheep.
Okay, so
Ron,
on your kits, do you have a lot of repeat customers?
Oh yeah, actually, that's actually growing a lot too. Some of them actually go for the big bang, and they'll get some like the Paulsers and the Wileys or the Wilsons. Some of the bigger kits they'll buy right off the bat, and it always surprises me for a first time customer. Usually they'll kind of test the waters out and buy some of my smaller stuff, and then they'll come back and buy the bigger stuff. But yeah, I get a lot of repeat customers still.
You and I started out exactly the same. It says on the About Us. It's about us, but they're down at with the help and encouragement from his wife Michelle. So that's it. She just gets on his daughter gets with his daughter, but no name of his daughter. He won't name his daughter.
She was underage at the time.
So you began at 5 years old with a Lionel train around the Christmas tree.
Of course we did.
Yeah.
I remember coming out and seeing that for the first time.
Me
Christmas.
too.
Yeah, I remember, and it's just amazed. And I was building tunnels with the Christmas boxes and stuff,
and you're probably going, oh, darn it, Lionel beat me again. He's got his name on my trains.
I knew of you. I heard of you.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to tell the world before we go?
So in the past, I'm glad that you came to Ammonium, but in the future, please stop by and see us at Springfield. We're going to most likely be in the Better Living Center, and again the Craftsman Courtyard. How many
guys are there in the Craftsman Courtyard?
In Timonium, I think there's 15 this time. I think it's about 15. There was a really big one, that first one in 2019, and it was like 20, 25 maybe.
Wow.
all in one area. It was great. And then Springfield, it was about the same thing. It was big, a little bit different mix of guys because some guys didn't want to travel all the way down to Maryland if they're in the New England area, something like that. But they all definitely made it to Springfield. This one's a little bit smaller. I think there's some people that either they retired because of the pandemic or they're still leery and don't want to go to the show maybe.
Right.
But I think we got about 15 different vendors in our little area. Plus there's, hundreds of tables and stuff like that and layouts and everybody there too. So should be a good show.
This is a little aside for Tony Cook. Dennis Leary is the guy I was trying to think of. About 2 or 3 months ago, we were talking about something, and I was trying to tell you about the guy who was in the the Firehouse show, and I couldn't think of his name, and it was Dennis Leary. That's sorry to interrupt the program, but Tony Cook and I have always got unfinished business.
Wasn't Dennis Leary on Saturday Night Live, or is that somebody else?
I was somebody else.
Oh, different Leary.
Yeah, different.
That'll come up in a show about 6 months from now. You'll remember then.
Yeah, I remember just before we go. I remember the one question I wanted to talk to you about, and it's a really good question. I think, anyways.
I'll determine that. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Getting cheeky. So, I was thinking about your business today because we had talked about doing a podcast, and I was thinking about you, just like you were thinking about the AML. And I always have warm thoughts when I think of you.
Oh, thanks.
But I was thinking about how you got this little business going and how you really enjoy. And I was wondering, it felt to me like one of the things that model railroading provides is like the hobby of selling stuff or having a little business. It's kind of like one of the hobbies inside the hobby of model railroading, because not everybody necessarily wants to build a business where it becomes their full-time gig, but lots of guys have, laser cut kits, and it's almost like the hobby is one of the little side benefits of this hobby. Is if it's something you're interested in, you can do a little business too, which is a fun thing to do. Did that make any sense to you?
Yeah. No, there's definitely a lot of cottage industries. I mean, look at Bernard Helen with his mini prints.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that guy's blown up. He's all over the place. And he just started as doing beavers or something like that.
Yeah. And I even saw the pond where the original beavers at.
And that was incredible. And somehow he scanned you with your swim goggles on. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, with my swim goggles. And I keep asking him, but he won't tell me how many prints he sold.
I gotta tell you, that is the corniest thing I've heard, and I laugh at it every time.
I know.
Like, who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wonder how many
mini mail boy.
Yeah, mini mail boys. Oh, I love that, the mini mail boy. That's got a ring to it.
It does.
The only thing I'm concerned about that Bruce, with you net being scanned next, is you and I will probably end up on several layouts side by side. And what happens if you and I have some sort of falling out and we don't even ever want to see each other again?
Well, we've lasted since 1990, so who knows?
Yeah, but
we've had a good run.
Are we going to go to everybody's that we're going to put out on the podcast? We want them
separated by at least 20 feet. Or something.
Yeah. Each little mini Lionel has a restraining order on him. Actually, that's not that far from
little ankle collar on.
Yeah,
ankle bracelet.
So answer me that question. Like, you started this business as more of a hobby to just because some people, just like I started the podcast, I just started thinking, oh, that might be a fun thing to do. I think I'll do that and see if anybody listens. And you started your business probably based on the same kind of thought pattern as, oh, that'd be a fun thing to do. I think I'll give it a try.
No, I mean, it was kind of an effort where I wanted to actually start the company. My job at the time was closing down. Pharmaceutical companies, come and go like crazy. And I wanted to supplement some of my pay that I was going to the hardware store. And I said, my wife, actually, I was looking at a couple different ideas of what I wanted to do. I was looking at if I wanted to do custom railroads, which I've done before in the past for customers, building dioramas, like building actual kits for people. and charging them to do that because some people want their kits built instead of having to do it, so they can just throw it right on their layout. I was looking into that, and then my favorite part of model railroading is building structures and scenery. So when my wife actually said, "Well, why don't you look into laser kits and stuff like that?" So it's all I gotta blame her on this whole thing.
Oh, there you go. Good for her.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was good. I mean, we had the opportunity. The timing and stuff was right with the job change and everything. So I started it all at that time. It was great.
So you blew my theory completely out of the water. Then you didn't start it as something that'd be fun to do and kind of a hobby within a hobby. You started it with as the intent of you're going to one day take over the world through model railroading.
Yes.
Well, that's an admirable goal, I think.
It's ambitious. It's ambitious.
Yeah, I think that's a very ambitious and admirable goal, don't you, Bruce?
Absolutely.
The world I'm conquering is only 187th though, but it will be a world.
And don't forget, if you come across me, I have a restraining order on me.
Yeah.
On any layout.
Now, here's the question: have people been bugging you to do other scales?
Yes, constantly. N scale and O scale definitely. There are S scalers that are out there, and they constantly ask for it. Eventually, yes, I will do that. Probably, I'll at least try and venture and see what the reception is. For N scale, it could be pretty much probably any of the kits. For O scale, it would be some of the medium to smaller kits, just because of the sizes that they will be. I wouldn't do a Paulsers, or probably wouldn't even do a Wilson's in O scale, just because of the sheer size of them. But maybe
you're saying I'm fat?
Yeah, that's kind of that was the way I took it. Yeah. That was the way I took it. He was making making
to Wilson because the sheer size of him.
Yeah, well, Jesus.
There's a lot of mustard in that thing. Yeah?
Apparently, you also will need 2 seats on the plane. You're a person of size.
He's a kit of size.
There you go.
So, is your laser big enough to build one of those in O scale?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Why wouldn't you, because, I mean, each kid is, like, why wouldn't you, if somebody desperately wanted you to build the thing in O scale and you said, okay, it's going to be X number of dollars, like, isn't it kind of, can't you build them as a one-off or one at a time, or?
I could. I wouldn't really dedicate the time just to a one-off. Not many people would want to pay that kind of money. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that would, but they're far and few between. I would rather do it and make it a kit, but some of it is easy where you can just kind of bump up the sizes and scale it up, but then you have to adjust a lot of stuff. And then also, the way I have the windows and everything is all designed for HO scale parts that are available.
Right.
Where if I go to an N scale, those windows might not be available, and then I'll have to adjust the window sizes, or I'll adjust the wall thicknesses, or I have to kind of make tweaking. So it's almost, you're not starting from scratch, but you're starting from an itch instead of a full scratch.
Okay, so it's not just a simple case of if you want to build an old scale Wilson's, you don't just double the size and that's it.
And there you go. Yeah, it's a little bit more than that, because the physical material stays the same thickness, but the walls get bigger, and then the basswood's still 1/16 thick, no matter what scale you're doing it in. Okay. But the windows will change. The clapboard sidings got to change. It's not as easy as just 50% or 200%, whatever.
It's not as easy as you think.
No.
All right. You know what? I think because we have us all here. Was there anything else? Anybody got any more questions? Anything you want to say? What's your next kit going to be?
Right now, I have a bunch of like little sheds and garages that I'm going to put out as you'll be able to get them as individual sheds for like a backyard or a little site, little scene next to a track or something like that. Or they'll come in different packs. You can get like a 3-pack of them, or you can get a whole 6-pack of them. Get a little bit of a discount buying the quantities that way. But I have 6 little like shed things all lined up and ready to go.
Okay.
That'll come out probably after Timonium. I was thinking about getting them ready for the show, but they'll be ready for Springfield.
I just had the when you said trackside details and that, I thought of our buddy Chris Palmieri, who's doing home shops where he's selling cars from freelance model railroads, which I think is a really cool idea.
That is pretty neat.
I know, and they're tangent cars, so they're really good cars. They're top quality cars.
No, they are. They're beautiful. I got my first Tangent car about 2 months ago, and I opened it up. I almost broke. I wasn't expecting the detail like that. And I was taking it out of the package. I'm sorry, Tony Cook. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah, I might not be in Model Railroad News anymore after that. But I took it out, and I almost broke something off of just taking it out because I didn't realize the amount of detail that are on those cars. Yeah. They are beautiful.
And he's going to do an ANLS, Allegheny Lackawanna Southern 40-foot boxcar.
That's nice.
And anyways, while I was thinking of Bruce, this is actually, Ron, you don't mind if I have a conversation with Bruce now, do you?
I'll put myself on mute.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
I was telling you the other night on some other show that a company wants to sponsor the podcast. So obviously the Tuesday podcast, which is a Patreon only, would never have sponsors. But they wanted to sponsor the Monday podcast, and I told them a stupid amount of money, and they agreed. But you know what I thought? Because I'm still not really keen on that. I'm just not keen on being put in a position where, because I feel like it's the Patreon supporters that make the show go.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. And I don't want to be put in a position, hopefully not. Don't think I'll ever, I don't know. I'm waffling back and forth, but it would be fun. And then I thought of home shops, and I thought, we should just advertise for some of these places anyways for free, like Chris Palmieri's Home Shops. Go to homeshops.com. And then we got Ron on here. You could just say, hey, don't forget to go to Mind Mount Models.
Yep.
Or Jim Sacco's City Classics.
Jim Sacco is
good
great.
Buddy.
What was that?
I thought you were on mute.
I said,
I thought you were on mute. Yeah, what happened there?
I'm sorry. My microphone's broken. I have it backwards.
There you go.
I think your mouth is broken. It can't stay closed.
No, that's, my opinion, for what it's worth, and then $1.50 will get you a cup of coffee, right? So, I think that's a great idea. Then you're not sort of beholden to one person and who can maybe sway what you're doing type thing.
Yeah, no, it's hard to decide.
Whereas we give a shout out to City Classics or My Mount Models or Home Shops or our good friends at Midwest Model Railroad.
Or our buddy Chris Brimley over there at trainlife.com. I like him too.
Yeah, trainlife.com, yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough call because now it's turning into a business, and, smart business people wouldn't turn down a good offer.
Stupid amount of money, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to. There's always something. I never imagined I'd be at this point. Just Ron, although Ron, he planned this. He knew what was going to happen. Can you tell me what's going to happen with the podcast over the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, over the next year, your sales will double so 0 times 2 is, and then after that, you're just going to, the sky's the limit.
Okay. Just be exponential after that?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I really liked the other day when we were talking to Jason Schron. And
he's a bowl of energy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's an understatement.
Yeah.
The man is a dynamo.
And he's being very gracious and offering his support to the podcast and said that he'd be willing to come on and, for 20 minutes and explain one or two particular things or answer one or two questions. So that was very cool. He'd be an ongoing guest. And but then at one point we were asking him about undecorated locomotives. It made me think of it when I was going to ask you about, can't you do just like one off? Like you couldn't just, double the size. And if a guy wants an O scale this, you just make an O scale that regardless, right?
Yep.
And then at that time I thought of Bruce when we said to him, we were asking him about undecorated locomotives and you could buy. And he says, well, if somebody really wants the such and such locomotive and he'll buy a case of them, then they'll get them undecorated. And I went, how many to a case? And he says 6. And I immediately thought to myself, well, that's not a bad cake. Like if you buy 6.
Yeah.
And I said, so is that something you encourage? And he goes, no.
It was like that. It was quick and sharp. Like, nope.
Yeah, we don't want that. So I guess the O scale Wilson's is out too.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
A kid of size.
Yeah.
So you say there's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance.
Oh, there you go. The My Mount Models kits of size.
Kits of size. or the Mind Mount Models kits of size. Yeah. All right, that's it. Bruce, can you give
I have a correction to make first, though.
Oh, okay.
When we were talking about Chrysandri Roth, I said she was from South Africa. In fact, she was from Namibia.
Oh, that's why
she's in the southern part of Africa, but she is from Namibia, not South Africa. So
that's where our
I
buddy.
apologize for that, but that's where Speed's going. That's why she can pronounce all the name on Speed's layout.
Yeah, because she's from
Namibia.
Yeah.
But anyhow, check her YouTube channel. She's got all sorts of great stuff on her YouTube channel.
All right, here's the test. Here's the test. Let's see how hard this YouTube channel is to find. Roth. I'll put Roth. I'm going to put Roth Model Railroading. Let me try that.
Or Blender, maybe. I don't know.
Let me try something. Model Railway. I'll put Model Railway. Let's see what happens. So I put Roth, R-O-T-H, Model Railway. I didn't spell railway properly, so that's probably going to... His computer's correcting me. Let's see. Model Railroading with Jack Bridges. No. Oh, there it is. The fourth one down. Trains of Namibia.
Namibia.
Namibia. No. I just got Timonium. Now I got to do this.
Now you got to work on Namibia.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So there it is. And then if you click on Chasing Trains of Namibia, then you can, there's your thing. Boom.
Yep.
Okay. Ready to go. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Yep. So if you can do it, then
yeah, if I can do it, that's a great part of this podcast.
If Lionel can do it, it's anybody can do it.
Exactly. Let Lionel do it.
Hey, Lionel, try this.
Yeah, try this, Lionel. I'm hitting the button now. Can you say something, Bruce?
Something, Bruce?
Someone's knocking at the door.
You got her?
Yeah, I think I got her.
Okay.
Bruce,
I think I got it. That's how the show starts.
Yeah, Bruce got me new headphones, and I'm struggling to get them to work, although they're very, very cool. And the best part is I don't have to reach over the computer to plug them in.
Yeah, you can plug them in your little box right there.
Yeah, plug them in my little box right here. And it's too much. I know too much about audio now. I was never an audio guy. Yeah. Now I know too much about audio. Now this thing, they come with about 14 feet of cord.
You have to get the little clip to put it down your back like
like
the TV personnel.
Like on TV. Maybe we should be on TV.
Yeah, we tried that. It didn't work so well.
Yeah, it didn't work at all. That was a disaster.
Yeah, we tried it a couple of times. You got to say, give it a shot.
Yeah, we gave it an honest.
And the testing was quite conclusive. We're not ready for prime time.
Yeah. Well, should we be on TV? No. Should we be on video? Really, guys, you're doing good the way you are. We really prefer not. Hi, Ron.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. So this is probably just a segment somewhere in the variety hour, and I'm not gonna. Ron's idea was we were gonna stick it on the end of the last interview we did with him, going to Timonium. Yeah, it's like ammonium, only with a Tim. Timonium. And
luckily, there was no Namibian modelers at Timoniums.
So then Ron said, "Hey, the show. Let me. You know what? I'm going to read the message exactly."
Okay, so we get the words as a word and why we're here tonight.
Exactly. He says the show was wildly successful. If you want to record a quick post-Timonium update and jam it on the end of last week's recording, just a thought. Well, I like the update part and I like recording it, but I don't like the jamming it on the end of last week's recording. So Ron,
2 out of 3 ain't bad though, Ron.
Yeah. So Ron, when you're listening to this, it was sometime after the previous recording we did.
I was trying to increase the difficulty of editing for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Try not to help. Just you know what? Your job here is to look good.
Which is why we're not on video.
Yeah. Which is why we're not on video. How tall of a man are you, Ron?
6'5".
6'5". That's not that tall.
I was just my son is catching up to me very quickly. We just measured him this tonight, and he's at 6'3", almost 6'4".
Wow! And how old is he?
16.
And does he play on the high school basketball team?
The band. Percussion.
You don't have to be tall to play in the band.
Nope.
I thought
he's a drummer.
Oh, that's cool. The chicks love drummers.
Oh yeah.
But he's not on the basketball team?
Nope.
I thought they would recruit him just so he could stand by the basket and
Just throw his arms up and block things.
Yeah, or throw them in. So, okay, so how many days is this since Timonium? This is like 5 days later since Timonium.
Yep.
And you say it was wildly successful. What made it wildly successful? Was it just so busy?
Yeah, Saturday morning was slammed. There were a lot of people there Saturday. And the doors busted open, the wallets busted open. People were just all over the place. There was all kinds of vendors and there's the what do they call it? The stroller patrols, and there was guys with triple XL T-shirts on, and the regular railroad crews there, model railroad train show crews,
right?
And a lot of them were swinging by my table. It was pretty cool. Had some special guests actually stop by.
Oh yeah, who stopped by?
Well, first one I met, it was Jerry Britton.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yep, he stopped by. He's a much taller man than I was expecting.
So you never met him before?
Well, remember he might have stopped by in 2019. I don't remember that, but when I turned around and saw him, I was like, "Whoa!"
Oh, so it's kind of like that Christmas Vacation. He was a large man. Was he wearing his AML shirt?
Yes, he was actually.
Attaboy, Jerry.
Attaboy, Jerry. Way to go.
Yeah, that's a key for a future superfan.
Yeah, he was good. And we chatted it up, and he was I think he was looking for parts for his lightning strike railroad that he has now.
Yeah, not to be confused with New York Central with lightning stripes.
No.
No. He got fried. His layout got fried.
Yeah, we're going to interview him about that.
Oof, what a rough ride for that.
Yeah.
Then talking to some customers, and I hear, is that Ron Klaiss of Modeler's Life fame? And I turn around, and there's the ambassador of railroading, Michelle Kempema.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. She swung by. Yep, she's making her world road tour around the United States, and she was in the area, and they were about to head down to the Baltimore Inner Harbor and the Railroad Museum down there in Baltimore.
Right.
And that morning they heard about the train show, so they swung in for a little bit, and she ended up stopping by my booth.
Wow,
excellent.
It was nice. Yeah, I got a Colorado Model Railroad Museum calendar,
nice.
2022.
Wow.
Even up to date, I can actually use it.
I never got a calendar. Did you get a calendar, Bruce?
I have not got a calendar.
I never got a calendar from Michelle.
And I'm still waiting to get back to me the price on some T-shirts. So.
Yeah. And was she wearing her AML T-shirt?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she was, no.
Yeah, she only uses them for painting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. They're nice smock. and even better, I got a Colorado Burlington Route CNS. What is this? The Colorado and Southern caboose, HO scale by Athearn. It's the one that they had custom made. It's the same caboose that they have inside the museum.
Right,
really?
The one they restored in the museum, yeah.
Yep.
And she gave you one of those?
Yeah.
I think
she was just.
I never
it
got
must be hot. Yeah, it must be hot. So she was trying to get rid of all this stuff. She was just throwing at me.
So there's some issues there. You think?
I never got a caboose.
I didn't get a caboose either.
Yeah, I bet you Tony Cook didn't get a caboose either.
Well, it's not Tyco, so probably not.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
But still.
Yeah, come on, Michelle.
This thing.
You're thinking just when she might be on the path of super fandom, then she does this kind
exactly.
of
stuff. That is
it's like she stumbled going into the corner and now she's struggling to catch up with the field again.
Yeah, exactly. All credit to Jerry Britton. He's never done anything like that. I'm sure if he had free stuff, he'd be giving it to us.
Sure.
Yeah, Michelle. Nice, Michelle. Way to go.
And then the next special guest at the Mindmap Models booth was Marty Mcgurk.
Oh, cool.
Marty. How's Marty doing? Good.
He's doing great. He got out. He snuck out and wanted to see the train show for a little bit. We chatted it up, and then we got some ideas for a future kit.
Nice.
He sent me some pictures afterwards, and so.
And what is that kit?
It's going to be a coal dealer, like a small town coal dealer.
Oh, that's a good idea.
He was checking out the Pinellas Petrol, the gas station.
Yes.
And he was saying, that's a good idea. Almost like a waste station or something like that. So then we started talking about coal dealers and small towns. And he's like, all these places, Walthers and even like George Celios, Fine Scum Miniatures and stuff, they always have these giant coal bunkers and stuff. He's like, but there's these small dealers that are in these little towns, just small little track, and they kind of like shovel a coal into these bins, and then the trucks back up and load it up. And so I'm gonna modify the Pinellas petrol gas station and add a little coal shed on the side and turn it into a coal dealer.
Yeah, because a lot of those, he just had like maybe an elevated spur for the a couple hoppers of coal to get up on, and they dumped it into bins below the track.
Yeah, that, or I'm thinking about actually doing almost ground level, and they just shovel it into the bins by hand.
Okay.
Yeah, so a couple different ideas I'm batting around for that, but yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm liking it. Wow, nice idea.
Yeah, it was a star-studded event.
Excellent. You're like being on the Tonight Show with everybody walking in,
Yeah, that was like Bob Hope stopping by, and the what was it, the woman from the zoo?
Frank Sinatra and
Joan
Embry from the San Diego Zoo.
Yeah, all in one night. It was great.
Wow.
Yep, and a lot of customers stopped by, a lot of new people, met a lot of good people, and then had a lot of young people.
Yeah, see? Yeah. I'm telling you, this hobby, a lot of young people. I'm telling you, man.
Tons. I mean, equal amounts probably of young and old.
Really?
Yeah. And you see that too at Springfield when we've been there. Saturday, there's lots of young people in there.
They're because they're starting to feel like part of the hobby because they're finding each other out in the internet world. I'm telling you, this hobby's gonna, in 5-10 years, we won't even recognize this hobby.
Yep.
So did you have good sales?
Yeah, very well. I was hustling like crazy.
Good.
Anybody that walked by the booth, I was just greeting them, saying hi, and if you have any questions, let me know. And I usually ask them, so what do you model, and then kind of listen to what they're saying, and if it happened to relate to anything that was on my table, I would, hey, check this out, and sales were very, very well.
Good. So do you work from behind the table or in front of the table in the crowd?
I'm always out in front.
That's a good way to, because then you're right there with them. They're not looking at you across the table, and
nope.
This way you at least put your foot on and trip them and keep them.
You hold them down a bit.
Yeah. Hey, where are you going? Yeah, come on back and look at this.
So
buy this model.
So how many?
So what was the big seller?
I sold out of Wilson's mustards.
Oh, I was just going to ask you how that went.
You sold all 2 of them.
No, I should have made a lot more. Yeah, I owed a couple in the mail, so they paid right at the thing, and I mailed them out today.
Really? Nice. So how many did you sell, do you think?
I sold 7.
Really?
Wow.
Yep. So that was pretty good.
So you must have been thrilled with that then.
Yep. Wilson's. I did a bunch of the big kits, Sunrises. I did some Palzer's plumbing, the Wileys, and Toms. I sold a bunch of Toms. Tom's Top Dogs. Can't have enough of them.
All right. Well, big deal. So you're selling Wilson's and Tom's Top Dogs.
And Pinellas and a lot of other Modeler's Life guests.
Oh, yeah. There you go. How many of Palzer's did you sell?
Just 2 of those, actually.
Okay. But still, I mean, it's $175. So, I mean, it's an expensive kit, but you sold 2. And then even Wilson's Mustard is $120. So, I mean, selling 7 of those is... What about Willie's Good Time Tavern?
How many did I sell those? Oh, it's like 4 or 5, I think it was.
Wow.
No, I very, very good sales.
Excellent. Well done.
And what of the little stuff like the accessories? What was the hot item there?
All the roofing, all the shingles. My new corrugated roofing, all the different shingles, they were selling like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, the double layered staggered shingles and the straight shake shingles, all that.
Shake shingles.
Yeah.
Shakes.
Yeah, straight shake shingles.
Had some interesting events happen on the way there and stuff, and setting up.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Well, a couple months ago, I got a new van, mainly for the purpose of going to different shows because the cars that we had were outgrowing all the stuff that we were bringing.
Right.
So I get this new van. I'm excited. I'm like, all right, going to the new show. The first show, got it all loaded up. My wife and I are driving across Route 78 in New Jersey. I'm like, oh, let me hit the gas station real quick before we get out. I don't feel like pumping my gas anywhere else. So New Jersey, they're nice enough to pump your gas and charge you triple the price. So I pull up to the gas station.
Stop. I'm sorry. You carry on the story, then we'll get back to my question.
So I pull up to the gas station, and I pop open the gas cap, and the guy's standing there, ready to pump my gas. I look in my rearview mirror, and I see smoke coming out of my tire.
Ooh.
Billowing out of my tire. I'm like, oh no. My wife's like, what? I said, there's smoke like coming out of the back tire. I'm like, hold on. So I'm like hopping out, and the guy's looking at me like, what are you doing? He doesn't see all this smoke coming out of the back of my tire.
Right.
And I'm like crawling around. I'm like, where's this coming from? I thought maybe I left my brakes on. The brakes are gone. I don't know, but it was driving beautiful up until now. So I'm like looking all over the place. There's still smoke coming out of this thing. The guy's just pumping the gas like there's nothing happening. And I'm like, okay, all right. Told my wife, hop in the car. You know, it stopped after like a minute after he's pumped the gas. I'm like, what the heck was that about? So I had her like kind of pump the brakes in the parking lot of the gas station. And I'm like, not seeing anything. I'm not hearing any squealing, nothing. I'm like, this is weird. What the heck was that? My wife's like panicking. Her head's up against the steering wheel. She's like, oh no, we're not even out of New Jersey. This is horrible. So I'm like, all right, I don't know what happened there. I said, let me just drive down. We'll get off the next exit. And I'll see if it happens again. So I drive down the highway, and I'm looking out, the whole time I'm looking at their rearview mirror, seeing if there's any smoke or anything, parts falling off the new van and stuff. And I'm like, no, there's nothing. I don't see anything. I pull off to the next rest stop or the next exit, and I look at it, and nothing. Everything's perfect. And my wife's like, well, when we were at the gas station, I did see that one car pull up on the other side of the island, and it was like billowing out all this smoke. So all this smoke is like coming out from this other car. It's going under my car and shooting out the tires. Like, why didn't you tell me that earlier? I'm like freaking out. So we finally like, all right, fine. I drive down, and we get there. We set up, and we're like, okay, we have a nice dinner. We go out to this dinner place. I didn't know of any place like in Timonium. So we're looking around, and I say, oh, this pepper mill. We walk into the pepper mill, and it should have been called like the Salt and Pepper Mill or something, because we walk in, the hostess, young girl, real nice. I see the bus boys and waiters walking in. They're all young and stuff. And she's like, do you want to sit in the lounge or do you want to sit in the dining room? My wife's like, oh, we'll have a couple drinks and we'll sit in the lounge. And we walk into this bar area, and every single person at the bar and at the tables in the lounge had white hair. Like we were easily the youngest people there. Every single person in the place was probably 75 and up. And I'm like, it was kind of odd, because usually it's just, a few people here, a few people there, all different ages. I'm not sure if it was like, senior hour or something, or special, early bird specials or something. But I'm like, holy cow. I'm looking around, and the waitress was great. She was on the ball. She would talk to us. She'd come up to us. Hey, how you doing? Can I help you? And get a drink. She was like right there, had all this stuff. She was awesome. But she knew her regulars, and she'd walk up to the person. You could see the hearing aid in their ears and all. She's like, do you want dessert? And the woman's like looking, and she's like, what? And this is like right next to us. Do you want dessert? And the husband's like, honey, do you want dessert? Like, she knew to yell at the certain customer. She knew when to, like, what. It was kind of funny. So that was an interesting dinner.
And then it turns out your wife said, you know what? I noticed when we pulled up, there was a van outside that sold white wigs. No?
No white wigs.
All right.
But it was good. It was a good meal. I had a nice Maryland crab soup, and it was a good burger and stuff. So it was good. What
was it called? The Pepper Mill?
Pepper Mill, yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. What
interesting.
What hotel did you stay at?
Well, here's the crazy part. So we get to
hang on. You tell the story, and we'll decide if it's crazy or not. Could be pretty normal for me and Bruce.
Yes.
This is pretty crazy.
All right.
So we eat dinner, and we're like, okay, let's go. Finally, get to the hotel. We'll drop our stuff off, and usually we stay at a Hampton or a Hilton or one of the a little bit nicer hotels. And we're like, oh, let's save a little bit of money. I looked at the reviews. I talked to some other vendors about this Red Roof Inn.
Uh-oh.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say the name. I'll call it the Roof de Rojo, I guess.
Yeah. And, don't say Red Roof Inn, whatever.
Yeah, they used to own a sports car track called Mid Ohio.
Did they really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they still do not, but yeah.
Red Roof Inn did.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. You know everything, Bruce.
Which is why when you look at any race at Mid Ohio, a lot of the buildings had red roofs on them.
There
did
you
you know that? That's next time you stay at a Red Roof Inn. That's a little bit of information you can have to impress the folks around you.
I'm not staying at Red Roof Inn again.
Oh, didn't.
So I walk in, I pull up, and I walk into the quote unquote lobby, which is about almost pitch black. And you normally walk up to the reception desk, and there's people. Hey, can you welcome to Red Roof Inn or Hampton or whatever? There's a bulletproof glass. It looks like the teller in a like a bank. Like you couldn't even like see the person behind this door. I'm like, oh my God, am I in the right place? I'm looking. I'm checking my paperwork. It took over an hour just to get to the front finally to the desk, because the 4 other people that were in front of me, every single one of them had an issue with checking in. Every single one.
Oh no!
And like they didn't have the right information. They didn't have the right ID. Their boss booked them there. Every single excuse under the book. And there were people coming in trying to get money out of this like portable ATM, which I'm surprised was even there. It wasn't like ripped out and stolen one night. I had a great conversation with this one woman. I forget her name. I think it was Cheryl or something. And she was just trying to pay her weekly bill because I guess she lived there for the week or something. And she's telling me how horrible it is there, and all these drug addicts and heroin addicts are there. And I'm like, oh my God, am I really? This can't be right. So I'm looking around, and I finally like, all right, well, let me see. I'll see how the room is. I get the key, and my wife and we go up to the door, and this other woman's downstairs, and here it's Cheryl's sister. They're going to go bowling later that day.
Oh,
so
you went out and rolled a couple of games with Cheryl?
No, we didn't. I go down. I try and get into the door, and I'm looking. As I'm walking down to the room, I'm noticing that almost every car has at least one broken window. And I'm like looking around like, this can't be. There's people on the second and third floors. They're all partying up there. I'm like, holy cow, what is going on here? And I go to try the key, one of those like electronic keys in the door.
Yeah.
It's buzzing at me. It's not working. I'm like, all right, let me try it this way. So Cheryl's sister comes up. She's like, oh, my sister, she always has trouble with her keys. She takes it. She puts it in her. I'm like, this isn't working. So
who is this Cheryl woman? Where did she come in?
She was just in the lobby waiting she was one of the like 4 or 5 people that was there with me, and her and I started chatting it up because Christ, we had over an hour to sit there and talk about things. Why not?
Oh, okay.
We were trying to check into the room, and I go, all right, I'm going to go see if the keys, maybe he charged it wrong or whatever. So I go down, I'm in the lobby again. I'm waiting for another half hour because there's 2 more people in front of me. And I come back, and my wife and Cheryl's sister, I don't know her name, they're chatting it up some more. They're about to go ready to go bowling together.
And you didn't go bowling with them?
No.
Did your wife go bowling with them?
No bowling.
Okay.
No strikes were thrown that night. Some fists were almost thrown, and some bullets were almost shot. But so finally, I get the card after maybe the 5th time there, and I get into the room. I open the door. I'm like, oh, this can't be. This is horrible. And my wife's like, I'm sitting on the bed, and I'm like, I don't think we're going to stay here. And my wife's like, yeah, this isn't too good. She's looking at the chair that's all torn up in the corner, and she's like, you know what? I just have to go to the bathroom real quick because we've been there for an hour and a half now, and we'll decide what we're doing. So she goes in the bathroom, and she goes, I can't even go in there. I'm like, should I even look into the bathroom? And I look in the bathroom. It looked like a murder scene. I was like, this is horrible. There was like not even a tub there. It was like one of those walk-in stall things, and the toilet was like, oh my God. I said,
was there blood or something?
No, it was just dirty and nasty, and it was bad. So that scene, like in I think it was like National Lampoons, when they're sitting there like at the hotel, they're like, all right, we're out of here. Oh no, it was when they were in the hood when they accidentally took the wrong exit.
Oh yes,
and like they're taking the tires off of their car and everything.
So in other words, if I could crystallize or capsulize it, the place was a dive.
Oh yes, oh yeah, big time.
So then where'd you go?
So I was like, we're getting in the car. I just pulled in the car. I got out of there as quick as possible. I tried to get, I went to the thing. I said, I'm checking out. The guy's like, you've been here like 5 minutes. I said, no, actually I've been here about 2 hours, but I was in the room for 5 minutes. I said, just check me out. I'll deal with it later. So I walked out of there. We ended up going to I think it was a Hampton or something like that up the road, which was incredibly nice. Walked in, people greeted me. There was actually lights on in the lobby. It was.
And what did we learn from this experience?
Don't go cheap.
There you go.
Yep.
It only has a 3.3 Google rating anyway, so you didn't see that? Come on.
No. The way I looked at it, I did that. I told my wife. My wife's like, "What kind of ratings did you see?" I said, "I was looking on this one website. It had all these great ratings, and then like maybe one or two here and there." I'm like, "Okay, that's probably good." I went by the suggestions of a couple of the other vendors. I'm like, "All right, well, it should be fine." And I got there. I was like, "Oh boy." So that was rough. But then we got into this nice hotel room. It cost 3 times as much as the other one. it was just bad. It was just bad.
And then,
here's a review of somebody about a month ago. Nothing. I did not stay. It took 45 minutes to check in. I walked in and right out of the room, dropped the key off, booked another hotel. I will not let anybody stay at this hotel. I will not let an animal stay at this hotel. Door to room did not close. Bugs in room. Bathroom full of water. Holes in ceiling.
It was bad.
But it's close to shopping and eateries.
Well, yeah, but you think you're going to get shot or have your car? There
was a staff member who was more on his cell phone than helping us at the service window. Service window. That's a bad sign right there.
Yeah,
it was bulletproof glass.
Derek says the hotel is good for the price.
Derek was the drug dealer.
Yeah. Natasha says, I checked into the room, was horrible and long. After getting key to find room. For a smoke-free room, all rooms smell like stale cigarette smoke. Jerry says, not really that clean, acceptable. Staff had no energy.
They're not the reviews I obviously saw. I would have never been there.
Apparently.
Luckily,
this guy says, it was dirty inside and outside of the rooms. Air condition unit was broken and had chicken wire wrapped around the top. Main lamp all rusted. 2 of the dresser drawers were broken. You couldn't turn on the bathroom light. But, he says, it was close to where I needed to be.
Is that heaven's door?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my goodness gracious.
So anyhow, you would not give it a big recommendation is what you're saying.
I was trying to give it a -1 star. Yes.
Yeah, -1 star.
Yeah, I give -10, but I'm only allowed to give a 1.
Yeah, it should be a Kelly question kind of scoring on that one.
We had a good Kelly question there. We were interviewing somebody, and it was going to be a good Kelly question. Then I forgot to write it down.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
I hate it when that happens.
Absolutely disgusting. I've stayed there many times in the past. All the clean and front desk is pleasant. Not today.
That reminds me. I gotta book my room for Springfield. Because
Hampton Inn in
Enfield.
Enfield.
The official. It's the official
AML headquarters.
Exactly. 20 Phoenix Avenue, Enfield, Connecticut.
And if it's cold enough, there's a hockey rink in front.
That's right.
Yes, that's true.
Yep.
And there's a good restaurant right beside it. We had a meal there.
Yes, steak place.
Yeah, what's that steak place called?
Texas or
Texas
Longhorn.
Longhorn or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good there.
All right, so you sold all of your Wilson's mustard. You sold 2 Pulsars. You sold tons of shingles.
Yep, bunch of the small kits, a bunch of the other kits.
So would you say you had like half the stuff to take home, or like a third of the stuff to take home, or?
We cut a lot because I didn't know what to expect. So I did bring a ton of stuff, except for not enough Wilsons. But yeah, at least half. It was good.
So you only had to take half. So I bet you noticed you loaded up a lot faster than you unloaded.
Yeah, and my brakes didn't smoke on the way home.
So what kind of van is this?
It's a Kia Sedona.
Kia Sedona?
Yep.
That's a sweet ride.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
Did you buy it new or used?
It's used. It's a 2018.
It's not silver. It's not silver, is it?
No, it's a dark gray, like a charcoal gray, I guess.
Okay, that's cool. How many miles did it have on it when you bought it?
It was 36, 37.
So not many.
1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, well, yeah. 1,000. 3 years old and it's got 36 miles on it.
Yeah, I just took the gas station back once.
And is it like a passenger van where you fold the seats down, or it's just a
it's a passenger van. Yeah. It's funny because I was looking at utility vans and I'm thinking about getting the little mini box van things.
Right.
Or the little NV200s or something like that from Nissan. And my wife's like, that's not very practical. It has 2 seats. We can't use it if we go on any trips and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but this is neat. I could put like mind mount models on the side of it, the panels and all. She's like, I don't know about that. So then she talked me into getting the passenger family van, and it was a very good choice because it's very comfortable, a lot of good amenities and stuff in it.
And I bet from now on she wants to be the one booking the rooms too.
Oh yeah. Well, we both agreed. We're like, oh, yeah, it should be fine. But then, as she's sitting there terrified in the car, she wanted to get out of the lobby. So she's sitting in the car with the doors locked, and she's looking it up. She's like, "This place is horrible. There's horrible ratings." I was like, not where I was looking at the time, but
yeah, well, nice job.
Yeah,
you're lucky she's still talking to you.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but we had a nice meal that Saturday night
at the Pepper Mill.
No, this place was.
But at the Pepper Mill, yeah, they did the Pepper Mill on Friday. The Homey American Calf, traditional American comfort food. Now it's got a 4.4 rating.
Yeah, it was very good.
It's much better. Let's see. Let's see some of its reviews. It's not working. Oh, there it is. Oh, look. Anne says they are clearly more hip and upscale restaurants, but the food and cocktails here are really good reliably. They cater to older clientele, which puts some off based on other reviews. So if you're looking for a younger crowd, this isn't for you. Just like you said. So how many, so you say you do this in a Craftsman's courtyard. How many dealers were there?
There were like about 15.
Really?
15 other guys, yeah.
And you guys don't get into any like shoving matches or anything, eh?
No. It was great. Yeah, like some guys had like a little mini coolers back there, and so Michelle and I for Springfield were probably going to get some like cheese and cracker plates and vegetable days, and maybe have a little sipping and switching type of thing.
Oh, so it'd be like for any AML people that need a snack or a drink, they'll be able to just stop by the Mind Mount Models booth.
Possible.
I'm sensing some reluctance on that.
Yeah. He's telling us about all the great food he's going to have, but none of us are allowed to have any. Well,
Stop on by, guys.
All right. Okay. We'll stop on by. How many mustard kits are you going to pack up for Springfield?
A bunch more.
Lots.
Yeah.
All right.
Lots and lots of.
Hey, I should hang around your booth and sign them for you.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Special signed editions.
Signed editions of the Wilson's mustard.
Yeah, and if Tom Jacobs is there, you can sign Tom's Top Dogs.
Wow.
You have like special sessions on Saturday between 2 and 3. I can sign kits, and on Sunday, Tom can sign.
About the Flying Adam for Pinellas.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Flying Adam. Yeah, get Adam in there. Fly him in. Boom.
Oh, man. Meeting him, holy cow. I get tired just saying hi.
I know. Bob, we got to talk to Bob Frischella because he went out there and met him.
It's true.
We got to get Bob on here and talk to him about that. I should send him a headset just for that.
Bob painted his backdrop.
Or did he?
No, that would be nice though.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Got any other? So did the show have any special? Like, did you have to wear a mask the whole time, or what was the dealio on that?
It was optional. That kept using a lot of hand sanitizer and stuff.
Right.
But it's kind of tough wearing a mask with glasses too, because then I can't see anybody. So, I did get a little sick for the past couple days. I think it was just regular sniffles.
Right.
Other than that, it was fine.
So how many people were wearing a mask? How many people weren't? Was it 50?
Probably half and half.
Yeah.
Half and half.
And so was ITLA there?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because he can't get over the border probably.
I was say he's Canadian still. Yeah.
Exactly.
He's always Canadian.
You know what I heard today, Bruce, is that you can walk over.
Really?
Yeah. So I've heard today I was talking to a neighbor, and they're just going to buy a car in Florida because they have a place down in Florida, so they're just going to fly and buy a car.
Right.
And but we got our dog, and we got to get our dog over there. And then she was saying, yeah, at the Rainbow Bridge, you can just walk over.
There you go.
Bizarre. That would be bizarre if that's the case.
So you get the car to drop you off at the border, walk across the bridge back to Canada, and get somebody to pick you up.
Well, no, but like you can get people are getting carrier to take your car over, and they
right, yeah,
and they meet you on the other side of the bridge with your car, and so you get my son.
That's a variation on having the helicopter fly you over and meet your car.
I've already checked out the helicopter thing. It's $2,500, which we're going to do if we have to.
It's a little cheaper if you can walk across. So.
Well, yeah. Anyways, I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true because that would be bizarre. I'm praying that that's not true because it's bizarre enough now that you can fly, but you can't drive across the border.
Yeah.
And then if they added you can walk across, but you can't drive, that would be bizarre as well.
Well, the virus is afraid of heights.
Afraid of cars, apparently.
Yeah.
All right. So, any other news? So, you ended up staying in Hampton Inn. You'll never stay. So, where are you going to stay for Springfield?
It's the Best Western, actually.
Oh, and what?
So close.
Yeah, so close.
I know.
Which Best Western are you staying at?
It's in West Springfield, I guess it is. It's actually, I think it's right across the street from
you're staying at the one
the restaurant that you guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what kind of
official AML dinner?
Yeah, what's that called? Cal's.
Cal's,
yeah.
Cal's up the road, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not the steaming pile.
Oh now you're gonna have to rethink that because it's only got a 3.9 rating. What are you doing?
Closer he wants to be.
What am I looking at?
Well, yeah, but we're in infield.
You're looking at the Best Western Springfield Inn.
Yeah, it takes us 10 minutes. It takes us literally 10, 15 minutes to get to the show, and we stay in infield, and we save it's much cheaper.
Yeah.
We had 4 kids. The pool was closed. We were not told about this ahead of time. Also, we were not told that the room would not be cleaned each day. They never removed trash. They didn't give us new towels. We had to go find our own towels. Overall, not happy. First room they gave us had pee on the toilet seat, crumbs on the floor.
Oh, good Lord.
Pillowcase had someone's beach towel in it. No pool, no fitness center, no continental breakfast like advertised. Couldn't even get a cup of coffee. Daytime supervisor Nisha was horrible. Never apologized for anything. I asked for toilet paper and towels for the room. I was denied until she realized I had no choice but to stay again. They listed the pool as an amenity. As of June 24th, the tarp was still in the pool, and it does not appear as they will be opening it. Also, the breakfast room was closed, as well as the fitness room. room was passable. That is about it. There's some other better ones. The room furniture and bed were outdated. Oh, this is a good one. 6 days ago. Horrible staff at the front desk. Could have cared less about my staff. Shower curtain rod would not keep the curtain around the tub.
Sweet. Do you want me to read a few for the Hampton? Springfield?
Yeah. Why don't you do that?
4 days ago, 5 out of 5. Our stay at the hotel was outstanding. From the moment we walked in through the door, the staff made us feel right at home. Sharon and Faith were also great. My grandmother. We were so polite and engaging. If we come back to the region, we will always look to stay here first. Response from owners. Hey, thanks.
You need any?
Another 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
The hotel was excellent. The hotel staff was excellent.
This episode,
you might want to be rethinking where you're staying.
Yeah,
Lord, I'll switch it.
Well, just stay at the official AML hotel. You'll be much happier. We've been staying there for years now.
And they do have the discount rate for the show as well.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the discount rate? I haven't even got that far yet.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Well, yeah, let's look that up while we're on, and then we'll close it up with that. Every time so what were you gonna say, Ron, about this show?
I said this show episode of A Mauler's Life is brought to you by Expedia and Travelocity.
There you go.
Actually, this episode of this segment of A Modeler's Life is brought to you by Tracy Boyd's Nut Butter. She got into a conversation today with me and Tony about nut butter, and we're like, what? There was somebody playing the ukulele on the plane, And Tony says, well, that's a lot more interesting than nut butter. That was very, very, very odd. She wanted to talk about nut butter.
Hampton Inn, Springfield, Enfield.
So what's
4.3.
There you go. Now you're getting the idea. Anything over 4 is okay.
Well, I've stayed there several times.
Well, then why are you changing it?
Yeah.
I don't.
What are you doing? What is going on, Ron? Is this getting to be too much pressure for you?
No.
Having this thing?
No.
It sounds like it. Sounds like you're starting to make a lot of bad decisions.
I'll be quiet.
Are you coming to the official dinner?
I'm not sure. Michelle and I are looking around at. We were trying to have special dinners and stuff, and it's nice to be there, but it's also very crowded.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go upstairs this year.
The 2022 rate for the Hampton Inn in Springfield South,
yes,
Enfield, $89 a night.
That's a steal. I'm gonna book that.
Oh, really? All right, I'm switching.
That's for 2 queen beds, or you get a king for $119 a night.
Yeah, I'm a king.
For the king studio suite.
I'm a king guy. What can I tell you?
Yeah, the king of Kensington.
Yeah,
what a guy.
That was a Canadian show. Nobody knows what you're talking.
Nobody knows that.
You can see the hockey rink in front there.
Oh yeah.
Google Maps.
Okay, so this year we're going to move the dinner upstairs, so it's not going to be crowded.
Oh, the big room upstairs. That's where Jim Sacco and his gang used to hang.
It used to be, but yeah, I should call about that tomorrow and claim that room tomorrow.
Yeah, so we kicked Jim and his gang downstairs. We're more important.
Well, they didn't use it last year, so yeah, I'm gonna.
That's true, they did. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's crowded. And it's restrictive, and I think upstairs we can have like 35 or 40 people, and I can't imagine that we're gonna have any trouble getting at least 35 or 40 people because we get 26 every year, and so yeah. So if it's crowded, it won't be. You know what? We'll get you your own table.
There we go. In the corner with a dunce hat because of where I'm staying in a hotel.
That's right.
Well, now, is there going to be a problem with you taking the group shot? Is that going to be a problem too?
No.
That's become a tradition. You do.
Yeah.
You're the group shot guy at 2:00 on Saturday.
Because it's like a drone shot with you still standing on the ground.
Yeah.
I get the whole north wing of the Better Living Center in it.
That's it.
All right.
Rails get bigger and bigger.
All right. I guess that's it for this segment. I think we've burned up enough time.
Absolutely.
Do you know what to say now, Ron?
Subway chimes, go.
But with enthusiasm.
I'll try. Subway chimes, go.
That was better. Didn't you think the second one was better, Bruce?
I thought it was better.
Yeah, me too. Bruce, can you give out our email address?
Yes, our email address. Please send us. We're getting wild amounts of email again.
Yes.
So we like that, and we're only about 12 months behind now on viewer mail.
No, they're not that far. It's just fun that we have a regular amount of email.
Oh, I know it's incredible. Our email address modlerslife@gmail.com. That's modlers with 1 L. modlerslife@gmail.com.
Let me see. What was the Richard Winiski? I got one from Martin Weaver today. I got one from Richard Wisniewski. Yesterday I got one from Steve Ramotar, Ramotar. So we get them on. We're getting them all the time.
Yeah.
Rich Wisniewski. Now talk about boring. Holy mackerel. I'm just kidding, Rich. All right. That's okay. And we have a website, A Modeler's Life. I don't know if this is Patreon or on the free channel. And if it's on Patreon channel, thank you, everybody that's a Patreon subscriber. And so we have a website, amoddlerslife.com. And if you go there, there's all kinds of things. And after, like Bruce told you the email address, if you don't want to be bothered writing that down while he tells it to you, or have to rewind so you can write it down, if you just go to the website and click on a picture of Bruce the Moderately Agitated Mailboy in a particularly agitated state, boom. The address is filled in, and all you got to do is the text.
There you go.
Tell us everything you like and dislike about the podcast.
We would take feedback of all kinds.
We take all feedback. I actually enjoy the critical ones more than I enjoy the...
Some of those are entertaining.
Yeah, I like those. But that doesn't mean, Nick Santo, that I want you to start writing in with critical comments. I want to get Nick on here and tell us about his trip chasing the big boy.
There you go.
What else do we got to tell them? Oh, yeah. Midwest Model Railroad. Yep. You're always wearing a Modeler's Life shirt there, Steve Arena. Oh, that's what I got. I got to write your name down on a list. I'm going to put that right here, right now. Ron?
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you why, but I'm putting your name on the list, buddy. So just be aware of that.
Just be aware you are on the list.
Yeah, you're on the list, man.
If I see red and blue lights flashing outside my house, I know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it'd be a stealth strike, so they just come smacking right through the door at you.
So when you're in this Craftsman workshop, do guys actually? Has there been any kind of a brawl or anything where two different guys who make laser kits, all of a sudden it's kind of like being in a hockey game, and when they start jabbing at each other about their kits, you got that wall is not the right size and stuff, and the next thing you know, there's like a full Donnybrook in the aisle.
Oh, it's very critical. Those guys are extremely picky. No, they're a great bunch of guys. We all chat and talk and have emails and texts and stuff like that. And I haven't met a bad Craftsman kit manufacturer yet.
Oh, okay. I think we've covered everything, have we not? Oh, Midwest Model Railroad. We didn't cover Midwest Model Railroad.
We started to, but got sidetracked.
Yeah, that's right.
Unusual. Yeah. Very unusual.
Very unusual.
It is. I was shocked.
Yeah, I was shocked. Midwest Model Railroad is our favorite hobby store. It's in Independence, Missouri, about 20 minutes from downtown, apparently. And it's owned by Stephen Atwell, and it's a 15,000 square foot hobby shop now. And it's like walking into a real life Walther's catalog. It's huge. If you are within a day's traveling, like if you live in New York City and you can get to Kansas City by jet in like 4 hours, do it. It's from Orlando to Kansas City. It's about 2 3/4 hours. So I mean, like if you need something, you need a bottle of paint or something, and you live in Orlando, jump on it, get yourself a Southwest flight right into Kansas City, grab an Uber, go to the store, get your bottle of paint, go back to the airport, and fly home. You'll be home before dinner. It's well worth the trouble.
Sounds economical.
Yeah. It sounds like a what?
Economical.
Oh yeah, economical. Yeah, I don't think that bottle of paint would cost you more than $1,000. I think you'd get a couple of, I mean, it'd be
while you're there, you might as well grab two to maximize your
yeah. So each bottle's only like $500 each.
Yeah.
That's it. I think we've done it all.
Yes.
Oh, and if you go to Midwest Model Railroad, their URL is midwestmodelrr.com. And you go there and you go across the navigation bar and click on AML. Boom. You are in a wonderland of AML merchandise. Hats, hoodies, shirts, mugs, whatever you could possibly need is right there at your fingertips. And then go back to the store part and there's like 15,000 items or something. Now we're done.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Are you ready, Ron?
Sure.
So remember, a Modeler's Life podcast is considered marginally adequate by 6 out of 10
Namibian model railroaders.
A Modeler's Life is sponsored by Because I Love Sushi. You could love any old sushi, but would it love you back?
It's another Lincoln Homer.
Excellent.
Can you do it with that hitch again?
It was the tough one.
Now maybe, then you started thinking.
Kind of like Porky Pig doing it.
That's all, folks.